Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of League Zero, and welcome to the Intermediate Division Grand Finals for Season 3. A match between Mob Mentality and Double Cap. The entire season has been culminating to this one singular point where one of these teams will come out the champion, the other will come up as a respectable runner-up. I will be your color caster tonight, Acronator, as well as Mob as the play-by-play.
Hello, it's really good to be here today. I've been following both of these teams throughout their journeys in the season, and honestly, I would not have wanted two other teams being in the finals here today. These teams have been exemplar in their performance throughout the season, and I'm so glad that we can finally see that these people finally facing each other for the second time, the run back, if you will.
Yeah, definitely.
This match definitely anticipated. The finals, a lot of pressure on the line. A first of four, if you did not know. So we could go the distance here tonight.
The further the series goes, the more stress you'll be putting on Ride Coast. Whether that is something that you want or not is up to you. So,
Yeah.
speaking to the players, because I know they watch these streams right in between the maps and whatnot. Actually, it looks like the stream is now live. Just confirming, Pen, do you want the announcement out now or right when the delay catches up to the intro? All right. So if you're watching the stream, you'll likely have seen that. Okay, so we do actually have the teams in the lobby, probably just getting things set up. Like Maud said, this will be a first to four, so a little bit longer than the average series. Let's see, we have first map pick will be Mob Mentalities. Scrolling through chat, Ilios is the first map pick. Heading off to lovely Greece. The Boop gods might be happy on two particular maps.
Yes, I think Quirk-P is going to be. They are going to be a force to be reckoned with, especially on that well map. Going back a little bit, little throwback, Mob Mentality and Double Cap, of course, have faced once before back in week 4 with a 3-0 win for Mob Mentality. But that is so long ago, and Double Cap's roster has changed significantly.
Yeah, honestly, I think two of the only people. Actually, no, I think they do have three people from back then, being Tyler, Grimace, and Navino. Although I'm not, or not Navino. I was looking at Navino, Tyler, Grimace, and Kenobi. Although I believe Grimace and Kenobi at the time were sharing playtime for main support, whereas I believe Kenobi is more of the flex support right now. Navino, Matson, I believe, and Repeat are newer additions, or Matson might have just been on the bench previously, but a little bit of a different look. Interestingly enough, we also have Kemi in currently for Mob Mentality's off tank position. Jula is in the lobby. He's currently in spectators, so I wonder if this is just a specific strategy. I don't know. What are you thinking, Mob?
Yeah, I think it is going this meta currently. I think largely to the absence of the Overwatch League, it's kind of in fluctuation. It's hard to know which. It's very map dependent as well, which comps are better on which. The only thing I really know is that Sigma is good.
Sigma, yep, sure enough.
Well, but actually, the characters, yeah, sometimes in Brawl it doesn't work, but.
Interestingly enough, Rockcrafts gets subbed in for Navino at the very last moment. Navino being the runner-up for the intermediate off-tank role star behind Greek God, if I remember correctly. So interesting swap there, but they're locked in. We're heading to the map, so it's a little bit too late to swap now.
And if anyone should have known the awards, it would have been me, and I do not.
Yeah. Well, you had to go through like 40 or 50, so
yeah, a lot.
Some slack there.
So this starting on Ilya as well. What kind of comps do you think, or well, we're about to see, so no point in asking that.
Yeah.
Let's see what we get.
They do have a little bit of time to meme around and spawn if they want. I wouldn't be shocked to see some double shield. This is probably one of the few maps that you can get away with it.
The classic Mob Mentality Shadow Dive. They've dominated all season with this comp, with actually Jula instead of Kemi, but either way, the classic Shadow Dive that this team's so good at against the new meta of the Ball Sigma.
Yeah, interesting choice for the Shadow Dive. It's not terrible, but there are certainly more meta things, so we will have to see how they play it, because honestly, at basically any level that our community offers, they can get away with whatever they want as long as they play it correctly.
Yeah, starting with this, because of that booster speed boost, that Mob Mentality is able to take this first grasp on the point, though it hasn't unlocked yet. And the players of Double Cap are rotating to the other side of Sigma with the brig. The Winston dive comes in, but it misses. The ball slams into the back line, and Trudango is the first pick. Very quick phone, knocks back with a Kunobu. Quirky with a huge boop! Finding two, just turning the fight instantly in the favor of Warcraft on the ball, gets knocked down by Samba. Echo's forced to retreat with the D.Va on their back. And what a boop from Quirky. I told you. I told you.
Yep, you called it. That was absolutely beautiful. That was going so heavily in Double Cap's favor, and then just a two-man boop completely turns the tide of that fight. That was probably just a little bit of poor positioning there from Double Cap. Interestingly enough, they swap off to their own Shadow Brawl, so they're playing Mob Mentality's game.
Yeah, but the Reinhardt's going to be a little bit less effective because the hack comes out onto the Reinhardt. No more shield left. The Reaper phone is able to get so much damage and already 85% to a Death Blossom. If he gets a heal, he's going to let it rip. But actually is one picked off by Grimace. Not enough healing in this comp. Quippy building up to that sound barrier as fast as they can, but the Primal's about to come online. Tyler falling a little bit low on the main tank. Kemi is hacked. The Coalescence and Beat come out from either side. Red Knight finds Tango evening up the fight. 5v5 big ultimates online for the side of Double Cap, and I wonder if they're going to just let him go. Primal in the back. Rockcross is hacked once again on the D.Va. Kemi is the one that I fall on the mech actually. And the hack! He falls into the Red Knight falls into the well and is coming back in Double Cap's favor. The Reaper, let's go. The ultimate just finds Kemi out of the mech, and the Death Blossom phone is huge, finding two. Able to keep it going. The EMP with the point flips over. I don't think it's gonna matter. Phone finds 3, make it 4, and the Peep is finishing another boot onto World Tyler, the last remaining bastion of hope for Double Cap. But the cap is going to go back over to Mob Mentality.
At the very least, they got a little bit of capture percentage for themselves and prevented Mob Mentality from getting closer to that crucial one-fight territory. I'm a little bit worried that Kilroy used his EMP, however. That was a really late EMP, and they didn't necessarily get too much out of that in particular. You know, if they used it right now, they could have completely cleaned up Double Cap.
Yeah, this Winston Clay is going to be very big. The EMP bomb comes out, but the bomb not going to really find anything in the back. The Shadow, though, finding big kills, and it's just going to be a quick cleanup as Double Cap takes control by technically the second time in the series.
Yeah, you do have Quirky stalling for a little bit here. He's probably going to get it closer to 90%. I don't know if he's going to get it all the way there, but close enough. You're in one-fight territory. And neither of these teams really have too many ults to work with here. I suppose Mob Mentality has the support ultimate advantage, and they do have the bomb as well. Phone should build up to his EMP mid-fight here, so that'll probably give Mob Mentality a slight advantage as long as they don't get picked off early here.
Hack comes, attempts onto Tyler and is able to get out. The beat comes as soon as it gets it. Killer doesn't actually get it, falls very low. But 2 picks coming out from Mob Mentality. This is the do or die moment. The beat comes out, but it's a little bit late. 3 members of Double Cap already dead. The bomb thrown in as a desperation attempt. It does not find anything. Kemi is actually the one to find with a bomb, and 95%.
Tyler might be able to touch. Yeah, he will be able to do so. At the very least, the point will be stalled for a little while, but there's only so much he can do. The rest of Double Cap have to come back, but that's not a good start.
Yeah, Matson falls immediately. The phone, the Winston is coming back in. The ball is able to stall for long enough to get enough time. Repeat is back on the Reaper, but phone finds Rockcraft. Phone finds Kenobi. Phone just doing all the work that they need to. Kemi cleaning up. The Death Blossom comes out, but he cannot touch. And round 1 is going to Mob Mentality.
I love how Phone just gets in his face and Repeat pulls the Death Blossom. If I'm not going to win the round, I'm going to take you down at the very least. It's a little bit of a moral victory for Repeat at the very least. But, oh boy, we do have another boop map as well. Probably the easiest boop map on Ilios as well, so...
I wonder
if
we might see a Shadow Dive Mirror. It looks like Tyler's opting for the Rhine, though, but it might be just bait.
Yeah, they have time to swap, however. I would be interested to see this Winston... Okay, no, they do swap the Winston off, because I have seen it played in contenders, but these players are not contenders. If you haven't noticed the SR on the bottom of the screen, this is about plat to low diamond. So these players would have to have unreal levels of coordination for the rank to pull off Winston Rhyme.
Yeah, once again, Mob Mentality is able to get the better grasp on this midsection, but the Reinhardt shield is falling low. Hack comes out onto repeat, though Reaper doesn't need his abilities to shoot those Hellfire shotguns. Tyler swinging his hammer through, trying to build to that shadow as fast as possible. All the way to DD46, and Phone gets picked by Grimace for the second time. Unfortunate, I think that was just random spam. And he does fall. Red Knight falling extremely low. Coalescence early out from Kenobi to secure capture as double cap capture the first time. Red Knight falls on the backside, and that marks the retreat for Mob Mentality.
One thing that is worth noting there is that despite the fact that he's not showing up in the kill feed against Phone, Mattson was actually doing the vast majority of damage onto him. He was basically locked onto the enemy Reaper like glue, so I think he's on Phone duty, essentially. Obviously this is a player who is, the intermediate MVP. He's a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, definitely has to be shut down. The Red Knight jumps in, the Coalescence to support him. Killboy already to the EMP, but the EMP gets cancelled. Killboy's EMP gets cancelled by Mattson. What a huge play, but the fight's still going over to Mob Mentality. The bomb's on point, and the death more. It dives the bomb, but it doesn't really matter. Heroics from Mattson to cancel the enemy's EMP by pure chance, and still Mob Mentality captures the fight.
You can't let that happen. You can't. They got like what 4 or 5 people in Mattson's EMP, and they still lost the fight. So I think the coordination of we're going to use EMP was there because they had just about everyone, including Quirk P. But there was no target focus whatsoever from DC Double Cap going into that fight after the EMP actually happened.
Yeah, the hack onto Tyler, they know he has that ultimate, the Shadow online, and with the Winston, it's so hard to block it, so they have to play a little bit split. The Phone finds Wildcraft after demeching. Mattson finds Quip P, though. That beat is no longer available with Pete falling, though, as well. That's a lot of damage lost for Double Cap. Only 3 players left with the Coalescence pushing them further. Tyler charging onto the point, gets hacked, not able to use that Shadow if he wanted to. Phone on the point, trying to target the Moira, stop the healing off, but actually Phone is the one to fall into Kenobi's fist with the assistance by Grimace. Now the Double Cap players are getting back. The Shadow comes out, doesn't find anything. Chudongo fades out of it. What reaction time from the Core P does get hacked, not able to pop the beat, though they want it right now. Killboy so close to that EMP with Pete. Mattson already to the ultimates, but Double Cap is going to be the team to recap.
I was spectating Tyler for a good majority of that fight, and that was kind of painful. He had so many opportunities to use his shatter there, especially getting like 3-4 man shatters because Red Knight was off punishing his backline. So they could have gotten essentially half of Mob Mentality down, and he just held on to it for so long. He decides to try and solo shatter a Moira, who just faded out of it.
Yeah, the EMP comes up very aggressive, finds 5 in the Death Blossom into the backline, finds Chudongo, finds Phone. The counter EMP is there though, but it's only 4 members left. Red Knight falls as well. The beat comes to counter it, and now with only 3 players left on Mob Mentality, that's forces a retreat.
Oh, okay. I guess they're staggering the D.Va. That was a little bit painful to see Kilroy once again using a really late EMP, getting 0 value out of it. He seems to be a little bit shaken up by his ult usage thus far. He's not getting the most value out of his EMPs.
Yeah, EMP value is a big thing, especially in the competitive lane. Coalescence comes out early. Counter Coalescence is there. Death Blossom comes in the back, finds both supports. Phone is there. Phone is clutching 4 players for him. The intermediate MVP definitely showing his true colors.
Yeah, and actually, ironically enough, while Kilroy isn't getting the best EMPs, he has some pretty clutch hacks. Right there, he hacked Tyler, so he didn't have his shield to get rid of most of the damage from the Death Blossom, so that was a big reason as to why Phone got the 4K there.
Yeah, very important. There's always assists in a team, unless you're playing maybe a Widowmaker. Because the Red Knight does go in, pops the Primal, the self-destruct is thrown into the back, not able to find anything, but 2 picks already for Mob Mentality, make it 3, and they're just rolling over them. Now this is final fight though, I don't think anyone can touch. Mattson has to be...
They're gonna have to swap, yep, Rockcraft's onto the Wrecking Ball. He's gonna be looking to touch here. He should be able to make it unless they hack him out.
No, he is gonna get it.
Where did that shatter go?
The self-destruct is used by Kemi. Phone finds Wildcraft on the point, it's already in their favor. Repeat, finds Red Knight. That was isolated in the back. This is an even fight between them. Killway has his EMP, pops on the point, finds Tyler and Mattson. Mattson so close to the EMP, needs to stay alive. Jumps off, gets booped off the map. And now, unfortunately, not going to have the EMP for a short amount of time. Kenobi dies with the Coalescence, not able to pop it. And now it's just the last stragglers of Double Cap fighting for the first map in this series. It's just Grimace. Rockcraft is falling, not able to touch And map 1, Ilios, is going to Mob Mentality.
There were a few absolutely clutch plays there from Mentality, Kilroy, and Phone in particular, where they singled out Matson and Repeat because both of them were coming up on their ultimates, the fabled EMP Blossom, and unfortunately they were killed before they got a chance to use them or were quite able to build them up. Oh, that's such a massive
Phone.
Toby is pleased, I'm sure.
Unfortunately, Phone kills the Zenyatta right before going out into the drink, so denied the 3K.
Still got play regardless, so
of course.
Grimace was, or Quirt wasn't exactly robbed from that. Now, let's see. The next map will be hybrids. That'll be more than likely Kings Row. Let's be honest here, folks. but
I would love to see Hollywood, but
Yeah.
Mob Mentality would not do it. Hollywood is that double shield map, and I think that's exactly what Double Kappa wants right now. But so they might actually pick it because they are the ones picking the map. But we'll just have to see.
Yeah, of course, if we do go to Eichenwald, there's potential for some boops there, but I think Eichenwald is probably the least played map in the entire map pool.
Yeah.
You know, occasionally we'll see Hollywood if teams feel like mixing it up, but I think I've seen Eichenwald maybe once or twice this entire season across, you know,
I don't know if I have.
or so games.
When I think about it, I don't know if I've seen an entire Eichenwald map played at least once, just because it's. I mean, you have the versatility of Kings Row, in my opinion, one of the most balanced maps. You have Hollywood, the double shield map right now, so there's no point to really play Eichenwald.
Yeah, I believe I heard. I think it might have been some expert players in the past, might have been last season, say that Hybrid has such a plethora of good maps that people actually enjoy playing. It's just that, you know, Kings Row exists.
And yeah,
sure enough, it's Kings Row. The Scrims Row folks off to jolly old London for the 100th time this season.
I mean, tried and true. These teams definitely practice. It's not called Scrims Row for nothing. It is played in scrims and probably one of the most practiced maps in League Zero. But we do have some swaps coming in.
Yeah, interesting swaps as well. Navino for Rockcrafts, that's to be expected. He's generally their starter. their starter. So we're having some interesting swaps here. The Silent Sword is coming in alongside Red Knight for off tank, I'm assuming, and then Kemi is going down to DPS, and Kilroy is going off to spectators. So a little bit of a musical chairs there, I suppose, with Mob Mentality, but
yeah, Silent Sword coming in to play off tank on what I assume to be Zarya, because it is Kings Row, and Kemi moving over to the DPS over Kilroy is a pretty interesting thing.
Well, I have seen more Kemi play DPS in the past. I think that's the first time I've ever seen him play tank. So
yeah, they definitely did not disappoint though. Especially with Jula in the lobby is the interesting thing. I wonder what's going on there. Especially if the plan was to run Shadow Dive previously.
Yeah, maybe he has bad internet. Maybe he's, you know, on a laptop or whatever. Or maybe they just feel like mixing it up. Maybe they're that confident that they can take this.
Well, hey, it's Mob Mentality. I wouldn't doubt it.
Well, they are up 1-0 in the series, but they're going to need to take 3 more maps. Speaking of which, we're going to be heading into one of those.
I would like to clarify, when I said I don't doubt it, I meant about their confidence, not that they'll
actually do it.
Yeah, they're very confident. Whether they do it or not is up to them and up to Double Cap. Tyler in the chat
complaining that who's that?
Tyler wanted a new team.
Someone, yeah, they're saying Grimace is making anime references, and Navino and Tyler are now complaining about it.
Ooh, unfortunate. But we have some comps here. The defense one is the solidified one. What do you think about this?
I don't hate it. Interesting that Red Knight's on the Zarya, but Silent Sword is known as a bombastic Reinhardt player, so I'm not too shocked. He generally has been playing Reinhardt, if anything, for Mob Mentality. Yeah, nothing too crazy. I like the Mei. She's basically universally viable on Kings Row, almost regardless of the meta. And sure enough, the offense is probably going to run this too.
Yeah.
So the map versus the Moira depends on how they play it. You know, if Truedonger gets a ton of value from Baptiste's kit, particularly the lamp, then it's absolutely worth it. If he's getting shut down, the Moira is probably better, but that'll remain to be seen.
That's true, Dongo. Do you really think they're going to be shut down easily? The wall does start off both walls coming out of the Immortality field, already proving its value, is able to play more aggressive. Tyler is the one on the back foot now after that initial rush in, but Silent Sword is the first one to fall, but the other Reinhardt follows, but Corp is the deciding factor there after dying, but Madsen evens it out, and now Davino is the one to fall. It's only 3 players left on for double cap, 3 players left for Mob Mentality. It's very even, almost identical across the board. This is the difference between the Moira and the Baptiste, but the attackers have the closer respawners. Tyler back in the fight, getting the 5-strike. The amplification matrix already out of the 5-strike, hitting Tyler, knocking him down 200 HP. The Immortality field back up the save phones. Live Kemi falling extremely low. Silent Sword falls as well with the Coalescence, proving its value. As Kemi does have the Blizzard coming in and throws in. The McQueen is stuck inside of it, able to get out. The High Noon comes out from the back, finds 2. Phone is popping off. Corp finds Kenobi. Navino is going to get staggered in the backline. I can't believe it, but Mob Mentality will hold A.
They did manage to steal a tick there, and they didn't really use any ultimate aside from the Coalescence. Navino getting a little bit of staggered here. Navino was so close to eating Kemi's Blizzard. It was probably like two meters away from actually getting it. Good attempts there, but unfortunately, I don't know if they were expecting Kemi to have the Blizzard quite so early, as Repeat doesn't even have his yet, but he's gonna have it this next fight, and Mob Mentality don't have much to speak of, as they use a lot in that pass defense.
Yeah, this grab from Red Knight is going to be the exciting factor. The Blizzard's already used. Silent Sword is going to be the one to give Frozen Immortality and be invested onto him. Phone finds Madsen as the first pick. Silent Sword does die throughout. All of his support able to keep it going. Turret no longer with the B, and now the advantage going the side of Double Cap. The wall is able to block the the bomb, but also deny value from the grab. And they're going to keep going. Another High Noon for Phone, and he finds Grimace with the amplification matrix behind him. Red Knight is Shadow knocked to the ground. Repeat, then healed by the Coalescence. Tyler finding Truedonger with the Shadow, but falls right before it, actually. Corpi getting a melee and the High Noon onto from Madsen, kills Silent Sword. The Shadow goes through. Another Blizzard. Are you kidding me? Kemi already has another Blizzard. Navino getting staggered once again.
He was so close to eating it again. That's just, I feel his pain. Also, why would Kemi use his Blizzard there? It was literally just Navino. That was such a waste. I mean, they have a minute and a half left, but you're not getting your Blizzard back.
Phone. This man used 2 High Noons.
And he's about to get a 3rd as well, probably mid-fight. Tyler held on to his Shatter for so long there. He had so many opportunities to get 5-man Shatters because Silent Sword wasn't in the fight, but he just wasted it.
A wall already down. Kemi's wall is bigger as Phone is approaching yet another High Noon. Silent Sword falling extremely low and gets picked off. The beat from Quert though is the go button. They need to find a pick here now. High Noon from Phone falls out. The shield is able to not get blocked. As Kenobi does fall to the High Noon, but the flashbang not being enough. Tyler falls to Kemi's headshots as Kemi's approaching another Blizzard, another grab online for Red Knight. It just seems like I feel like a lobby host might have accidentally increased Mob Mentality's ultimate charge rate. This is insane.
I think part of it is Mob Mentality's using them more freely. You know, they're using them to just win these fights that might not look so winnable, whereas Double Cap are holding on to theirs for so long until they eventually have 6. I mean, there you go. Are they even going to be able to touch?
I don't know if they can, so they're going to have to rest the Blizzard issue. Silent Sword does get frozen, but the sports are able to keep them up for sure in that time. Phone is frozen as well. The Navino eats Kemi's Blizzard finally. The defense matrix catches, and it's going to be Double Cap finally capping A.
They had to use Blizzard and Coalescence just to break the choke points. That's how insane of a hold Mob Mentality's been having, and that's the advantage of using their ultimates so early on in these fights, is that Double Cap are on the back foot perpetually, and they're on the offense. They're not supposed to be on the back foot. They're almost guaranteed to not get it even close to the 2nd point capture until they're basically in overtime, unless they just completely roll through, but that's going to be a tall order.
Yeah, the High Noon is able to kind of shut down, but the bomb gets thrown into the back. Finds 2! What a huge bomb from Navino getting thrown into the mountaintops. Madsen finds Madsen is found, by Kemi. Tyler finds Silent Sword on the charge, and Double Cap are able to continue to roll through.
finally they started using their ultimates a little bit quicker. Once they saw Mob Mentality blasting through that corner, they're like, okay, let's not do this again. Let's actually keep the cart moving for now. Oh,
Phone!
what? Where was
Oh,
Kenobi?
no,
You
Phone!
gotta be kidding.
Navino! Phone! It's just Phone popping off,
You
fighting
gotta
for.
respect him, man. He's not. He is mortal. He bleeds like any other man.
Yes.
But you gotta respect him because he's so good at the
Yes.
game. He
This
can't.
electric cowboy is surging.
And they don't even have an Ana for the electric part. He's just doing it all by himself. You know.
Starting up this next fight, the High Noon comes out by phone, his fourth one of the match, I believe, in this wall, stopping him from
Oh.
getting any value. His Phone keeps finding more. Give this man, and is there any more awards we can give him?
Well, champion if he earns it. But
Yeah, it
he's
is
gotta
looking
earn
that
it.
way.
He's got
On
a few
this,
maps.
this DPS is being exemplary. Madsen, it's so hard for Madsen to keep up, and I don't even think Madsen's playing bad. He's playing exemplary for himself, but Phone is just going above and beyond.
Yeah, honestly, he's just doing so much damage and waiting for the right opportunities to use his ultimates. And Double Cap aren't using natural cover.
Oh, a big blizzard. The beat is able to keep them enough to get out. Kemi's ultimate gets canceled by being frozen. Are you kidding me? The shadow though is huge.
Oh.
Shadow knocked to the ground. Phone is the one that falls though as the beat is able to keep them alive. And now the amplification matrix, the garage door has opened as the window of capping is shutting. It is just silent, so a huge grab, but the wall is able to keep them off from swinging through the grab. They're able to stay alive. Red Knight pushes past the wall, but is able to get killed. And Madsen finds Cammy to coalesce and just keep pushing up. Mob Mentality running on people with well on cart. Silent Sword's getting swung on, not able to do anything about it. Phone heroics are not enough to keep them from capping B.
It was actually a really solid micro play there made by Silent Sword when everyone was shattered and Grimace was going for the beat. Silent Sword actually moved up and shielded Silent Sword, or shielded Tyler from Grimace's beat. So he almost died there, but he didn't. That was really good on Kenobi to keep him alive while the beats didn't capture him. And now Double Cap have a massive ult advantage.
Yeah, the High Noon is walled off, trying to speed a pass, and the High Noon wasn't ready. 3 kills from Madsen. The 2 shields were enough to hold back the greatest cowboy in the West.
Shields are never enough to deal with Hino, and you really have to utilize natural cover, meaning walls. Well, speaking of,
The other High Noon coming out, not able to find anything because they were kiting it so well. The defense matrix is coming out, and Navino eats it again. What a good flick around the fury of League Zero. Madsen finds P as Navino's bomb fetch. Dango no supports off the line, and the shadow is huge, knocking them all back. Red Knight, and they're going to cap with time.
wow, Double Cap just flipped the switch there in the last, like, 60 seconds and just completely turned the round on its head.
Yeah, definitely was able to push that advantage as soon as they got it. Very good play from them, and I don't even think it was a lot of mistakes coming up from Mob Mentality.
Oh, absolutely not. I was spectating Kemi as he was getting ready for the Blizzard, and he even waited for Navino to use his defense matrix, but I think Navino just positioned himself in a way where he was at the best possible place at the right time to eat the Blizzard. And I mean, like, you know, he didn't get those first 2 by Kemi, but he definitely got basically everything else afterward. You know, I think there was one in Street's face that he didn't get, but that didn't. No, actually, Kemi got frozen out of that, so he didn't need to eat that one. So
Yeah, Kemi has used 5 Blizzards this match, and 3 of them have been canceled in some way, shape, or form. This reminds me a lot of the Fury eat of London versus Atlanta, when the Graviton was eaten with 0.01% of the defense matrix left. That seemed like what Navino was doing. Now onto the Zarya. What kind of difference is it going to make?
well, for one, it's going to give Kemi essentially a free Blizzard, similarly to how Repeat was getting free Blizzards because Red Knight was on Zarya. Now we're seeing a little bit of a swap of the role reversal here. Repeat actually on the Junkrat, interestingly enough. It is difficult to get value on the Junkrat on this first point, but it's not impossible. It's a lot easier on second point, so that's probably what they're banking on.
Yeah, you never want to play though like that, but the wall does come in. Tyler's able to kite it though. The Immortality field already down from Chudong. Kenobi is down as well. No Immortality fields on the field. Sound Sword falling extremely low. Has to back around with phone as well.
Nice.
Now they can push this advantage. The wall comes out to just stall to let them get back, and it's just going to be a retreat by Mob Mentality.
I really like the discipline there from Double Cap, where once the McCree was gone, that's 90% of this team's damage for Mob Mentality. So they were like, okay, now we can push in. Granted, Phone is now like, hey, I can Junkrat too, so let's see if you can get any value off of that.
The Amplification Matrix already out. Phone does find Repeat. Phone finds Tyler. He's doing it. It doesn't matter what character this man plays. The Amplification Matrix doing so much damage with those mines. Already 50% to his tie with Silent Sword swinging onto Kenobi, and cap of A is going to Mob Mentality.
Yeah, that was a pretty solid cap here. Fortunately for Double Cap, they should be able to, well, not with that, but they might be able to have an earlier defense of second points. Navino might be getting the late spawn.
Oh,
yeah,
he
sure
did.
enough. So that's going to be a little bit rough for them. So they can't hold the first choke points, but otherwise, they should be able to get a decent amount of contests here on second point, especially with the ult advantage that they have. Kenny is going to be looking for that Blizzard. It's a free Blizzard. The only thing that can really get him out of it is being stunned by Shatter or...
The tire comes out, Phone does spot it, and is able to kill it right before it kills him. Kemi drops the Blizzard, the counter Shatter is there, Matt and Kenobi both falling, and even despite their ultimate advantage, is still Mob Mentality pushing forward. Repeat, the last Junkrat, not the last Bastion, but the last Junkrat.
Yeah, there are no Bastions in this map quite yet. If this goes to multiple rounds,
Oh
we might
God,
be seeing
no.
that. But,
Actually, a side note I will add, this is probably the first time I've ever seen Mob Mentality playing King's Row and not do the Sim Bastion strat.
well, there's still time for that. Anyways, Phone is actually setting up for a little sneaky Rip Tire. He's probably going to wait until after. No, okay, he's going to do it in the middle.
Oh! You
Oh
can't
my
keep
God.
doing this! The Immortality Field wasn't able to get up, and Phone finds 4 in the fight, immediately shutting it down, and B going over to Mob Mentality with a swapping 5 minutes on the time bank.
That is just disgusting in so many different ways, especially considering they still have 3 ultimates on board. Double Cap only really have 1 right now, and they're going to come up on 2 soon enough. Kenobi might have his Matrix soonish, but True Dogger has his first.
Yeah, Chudanga is going to have it up first and pops it, not able to find anything because of the good kiting from Double Cap. Now a lot of ultimates coming online for Double Cap, pushing in. The grab comes out, it's fine to beat. The beat is kind of there to counter the wall, denying value. Phone is the one to find repeat the beat. The bomb going into the backline, breaking the shield now. There's a free Shadow. And the Shadow finds both DPS of Mob Mentality, but they're able to be kept alive. Implication Matrix now pushes the forward. Tyler's able to just keep swinging. Finds Kemi. He's about to find Silent Sword. And that is Mob Mentality backing out.
They might not be backing out quite as much as he thought, as Double Cap got a little bit overly aggressive there, and they just coalesced around the defenders like an amoeba and are now on the offense once again.
Yeah, they're already back in the Phone. There's a lot of ultimates online for them. Now Phones are pushing the spawn doors, does end up falling the Shadow onto Tyler and Navino. The Blizzard to kind of secure it now. It is a lot of big foes and Kenobi foes in the background. I don't think anyone's looking at them. They're not. The Shadow comes down. Does not able to get off. Repeat is res by the Mercy bomb thrown onto the point. Tayo coming back from spawn from Phone after the respawn. It's gonna come. Repeats was huge and didn't find any, and that's actually Repeat saving the point. Wow.
They're gonna have to be extremely careful to not C9 this, as 0.0 meters. So they are dangerously close here. Phone. Yeah, okay, that was a little bit too aggressive there, buddy. But I love the aggression from Phone. It is funny at times, but it's also a little bit overly aggressive at times when he's at the spawn door and literally physically cannot move forward anymore because the game will not allow it. Granted, the ult economies have kind of reset now, so we have a little bit of a dry fight scenario.
Phone back onto the Cowboy. He's ready to start making peace with his gun, and already 21%. This man is hitting so many shots already. Red Knight up there contesting the Ash. The amplification matrix comes out from both sides. Such damage to amplification. Masson finds headshot onto Phone. True Dongle will fall as well. bomb is invested by to try and clutch by Red Knight, but is not able to do anything as Madsen is popping off up top.
The timing was just a little bit off on Silent Sword's charge there. I saw what he was trying to do. He was trying to charge Tyler so that there was no shield for the bomb, but he was quarter second too late, and it just didn't matter at that point. This is dangerous from Phone. If they decide to push in, which doesn't look like they are, he could be dead.
Navino back in the mech though. Silent Sword ready with the Shadow now. Onto the Sigma Red Knight is. This can mean a big difference with that second shield able to come in, protect Phone, protect your DPS. Kemi already to another Blizzard, but now there's D.Va to be careful. The Shadow goes wide, but actually finds the Pete on the side, surprisingly. The Valkyrie is invested. Kemi dropping the Blizzard, and it's really big. The Immortality Field is deployed, but immediately destroyed. Tyler falls, Phone finding 2. Madsen up top trying to clutch, but there's not much they can do against 5 people. The mostly dying on point. The D.Va being it as well. The Ashe forced to touch the High Noon from Phone just for flexing sake, as Mob Mentality will cap with an extra 2 minutes. An extra minute and 9 compared to Double Cap.
Not terrible though. I mean, that started with like a 5:15 on the time bank going in the third point for Mob, and then eventually whittled it down to like 1:09 something around there. So that's really not that bad. In terms of defense, of course, Double Cap are going to have to step it up in this next round, especially if Mob Mentality decide to pull out the classic AC 130 strategy, the teleporting Bastion on top of the statue. They're going to have to be ready for that, but first they're going to get their opportunity to attack, and there's really no reason to swap anything up here, aside from maybe Kenobi onto the Baptiste, unless he doesn't feel comfortable on it. Then, the Moira's going to get coal rather quickly, but you're going to lack a lot of that utility that the Baptiste has, especially when it comes to keeping your tanks alive in this brawl 1v1.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait to see Mob Mentality's attack. If they do pull out the AC 130, that would be pressures on for them. It is a very risky strategy, but we do see differences in the comp still.
Yeah, I do actually like the D.Va pick from Navino here. It's going to at least be a little bit more defensively oriented, which they kind of need because they take so much damage. My one worry is that they took so long to cap any progress on first point last time. They need to be quicker and more decisive this time around. They need to work on their advantages and not let Phone just flank around through Hotel and kill Form again.
Yeah, Silent Sword already getting very big fire strikes. The wall is big. The counter wall is there though, as they're able to just keep poking each other. Immortality used by Trudongo now. This if player field is even, Tyler's shield is broken, but it's gonna keep swinging. Silent Sword falling a little bit low, as Tyler is the one to fall immediately. And now Silent Sword getting pressured out, but the bubble is there to keep him alive. Madsen trying to stall on point, but this is their do or die. They have to retreat.
Yeah, they need to get out right now. Phone was probably like 10 HP there at one moment in time, but he just backed up, rolled to the very back of his team, and no one really capitalized off of that. I saw Madsen trying to go for the freeze, but he was too far out of the way, and I don't think Double Cap quite had the gall to go after him.
Yeah, the ultimate's online for Mob Mentality here. The Implication Matrix is used as a High Noon for Phone, but it gets walled off the Shadow, finds Navino to ensure that the Blizzard lands, finds Navino is High Noon and finished off, but Pete is dead. Tyler falls as well, and it looks like no capture progress is going to be gained by Double Cap.
No, and this is going to be pretty rough to hold for a little bit over 2 minutes, effectively 2 minutes, and 9 seconds doesn't make a difference. Especially if Mob Mentality run their more stereotypical statue Bastion strat, which who knows, they might. I'm sure they're considering their options at this moment. We won't really know until we get it within about 5 seconds or so.
But, yeah, we will see. Okay.
No, I was just gonna say that was really good play by Mob Mentality, shattering Navino to make sure there was absolutely no chance that the D.Va can eat the Blizzard, which they needed to make sure that they can secure the point.
Yeah, Silent Sword even admitting it, that he did shatter the D.Va just to get that Blizzard off because it's very important. And I understand Mob Mentality not running the AC 130 as it's very risky and the pressure is on. Though I think that they didn't get any capture progress definitely takes the pressure off a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. They do need to be careful about their attack here, because they did take a little bit of time to capture first as well. Took them, like 2.5 fights when they actually did capture it a little bit scrappier than they probably wanted to, but they're going to have a little bit less time than they did originally. So you need to be careful about that. But otherwise, I don't see any reason as to why they aren't going to capture this. They're actually not going for the Bastion strat. They're going to stick with what worked on their final attempts to get the first one.
Navino on the Sig, though, this definitely tells me they want to play by the range and try and poke them out before they get in, and it's going pretty well so far as the Fire Strike barely misses Kemi. That would have found an immediate kill, but Repeat finds two. The Junkrat plays, and now they're forced to retreat here. Phone on that Junkrat, not able to get as much value as Repeat because of the offense.
Yeah, there's just an insane amount of focused fire coming from the defense right now, and Mob Mentality in their current state are going to have difficulty dealing with it, whereas Mei is more close range. She has her icicles, but it's not quite that good to do anything by herself, by her lonesome, whereas Phone is more spam area-based damage.
Yeah, the wall comes onto Tyler, walls him off temporarily, but they're able to keep going. Phone already with a tire faster than Repeat. Surprisingly, the Immortality Field is deployed and finds Repeat. Repeat finds Navino, but Kemi is the one to fall. The advantage is still playing with the Shadows. Both Shadows come online. All of Mob Mentality is knocked to the ground, but it doesn't matter as Mob Mentality will take map 2. Squims Row going to them.
Double Cap are just playing so painfully slow right now. They're playing scared. They're playing like they're terrified of what Mob Mentality can do, which is only feeding further into the fact that Mob Mentality can get away with whatever they want. You have to know that Phone is going to be doing stuff like this. He does it every single time, you know? And you see in the higher divisions, like Advanced, especially Expert, where they acknowledge that and they play around those kinds of plays, and they punish those kinds of plays. They would nullify the Rip Tire, and then once Phone tries to come back out, he drops down and dies, because he's by himself.
Yeah, definitely a big difference in the, I guess you'd call it situational awareness. Double Cap, we are moving on to Escort now. Double Cap still has the pick, and the 5-minute timer has started.
Yep, definitely. And next map is going to be Escort, so that'll be, if I remember correctly, Dorado, Rialto, or Gibraltar. Gibraltar is a rare one to see, but I wouldn't mind seeing it. It's always fun to see a little bit of variation. But
yeah, Gibraltar, and previously being, the Winston map, but recently has started to change up almost a more the style because of the change in meta. I think the best option for Double Cap here, it's very hard to say. I think Dorado would fit them pretty well on they're trying to play slow, a poke style, and Dorado kind of fits that more, but I think it is still going to get punished by Mob Mentality.
I definitely agree that Dorado would fit more with Double Cap's comfort picks, because you can play, stuff like the Shadow Dive there, but you can also play Brawl as long as you get your rotations right. Tyler seems to be most comfortable on the Reinhardt, at least from what I've seen. Navino can play basically any off tank. I have yet to see him struggle on anything. Matson can play just about any hit scan, and Repeat is very, very comfortable on Pharah. That seems to be one of his standout picks. So Dorado would obviously allow for that, assuming Phone, doesn't go McCree or Ashe and just get him out of the sky immediately. But the better Pharahs can play around that. And as for the supports, I don't see any reason why any of these maps would be limiting to Double Cap support line. They seem comfortable on just about anything they need to play. So
yeah, just waiting for the map pick to come out, and then we'll have a ready from both teams shortly. This is going to be a very exciting map. I mean, it is 2-0 for Mob Mentality, but Double Cap has definitely looked awake in the series at some points.
Yeah, they have their moments of brilliance, but it's generally when they're so advantageous in certain positionings that there's no other excuse to not just pile drive into the enemy team. Whereas Mob Mentality is doing it even when they're at a disadvantage, because they're trying to make plays, they're trying to create openings for players like Phone, like Quirk P, like True Donger, or even Red Knight and Silent Sword to do something with that. If they can create an opening and cause chaos, then someone else can run in there with an ultimate or a good ability and just kill, 3 or 4, because Double Cap just start panicking and they basically just throw their hands off the keyboard and go, I don't know what to do. At least that's what it seems like at times, in Phone or Kemi or literally anyone will just get these random 4Ks when Double Cap otherwise would have been winning.
Yeah, a big difference in that pressure scenario. That's where I've seen the most amount of good teams fall. You always good and dandy, but when the brawl breaks out, it's just how well can you stay with your team, stay with the focus fire, and not lose your head. 2 minutes left on the clock. We are waiting for a double cap pick. Going forward here, I think someone imagine what has been on phone duty and has been doing a pretty good job at phone on that Kingsville was able to get away with literal murder. So it is.
Oh. So we do have Gibraltar as the map pick.
Oh.
Yeah, so they are confirming Gibraltar for the map pick. Interesting. Possibly seeing some dive, possibly some double shield, because that's kind of the other variance of composition.
Yeah, we could really see anything here. I don't think you can tell me there's a single comp other than maybe Brawl, standard like Reinhardt Zarya Ball that wouldn't be exemplar on Gibraltar. So anything could really work here. This is going to come down to the skill and comfortability on these players.
Yeah. Okay, so we actually are finally seeing Jula come in. You know, he's been the starting starting off tank for Mob Mentality basically all season long. And now we finally get to see him in the third map of this series. But I guess they've had these set plays. Maybe they're trying to throw double cap off their off kilter with these odd swaps. But it seems more akin to what we've seen of Mob Mentality in terms of lineup for the entirety of the rest of the season. We do have about 30 seconds remaining, so we will have these teams get into the lobby and set everything up. Maverick in for Jula.
Oh,
Interesting. Okay, so
very odd.
So we're not seeing Jula. We're seeing yet another tank swap up. Mob Mentality is just completely unfazed by swapping up what is essentially the core of the team. They had to have been practicing these lineups. Maverick,
yeah, they're not just
shouting
going in
to
random
the-
people.
yeah, no, this definitely seems to be working off of people's comfort picks. I wouldn't be shocked to see Mob Mentality play double shield here, as Maverick seems to be somewhat of their Orisa specialist, from what I've seen of his, like the one or two maps that he played, I think last game. But
yeah. Oh, we are going to see a ball hog. I mean,
what do I know?
Ball Sigma coming out from the defense. Now, I know it's a niche strategy, but I would want to see the Orisa Hog pull out the window of the little bridge just in case anyone's playing there, because that is a.
We call for a pause.
Oh, we do have a pause from good.
Yeah. So probably, I don't know. They're not saying what, they're just saying pause. But probably just some ping issues or something. Oh, Grimace's head is hurting, so he's probably going to need Advil or something. They have time.
Yeah, 5 minutes on the clock.
Either way, just glancing over at the compositions, obviously Mob Mentality is more or less locked into this. Pretty standard phone. Been playing Echo basically all season long. Nothing too shocking there. Kemi on the Ashe, standard pick. Truedonger on the Zen. You can get away with it on this map. You just got to be careful with the positioning. Court P on the Mercy, pretty normal. Okay, we do have the R for Grimace, so he seems to be fine. Looking over at Double Cap, however, their composition, I don't know if they'll stick on this because this is more of an extreme traditional dive, with the exception of the Ana as opposed to like a Zen or Lucio.
2018-esque. I mean 2017-esque.
Yeah, honestly. Mattson has done great things in previous games of this season on the Widowmaker. I don't know if he'll be able to pull it off here. You know, Kemi will have the Mercy pocket, so that's going to effectively make it even. But at the same time, that will occupy two player spots on Mob Mentality, whereas Mattson can probably do it by himself, if not repeat, can also attempt to contest them. So there's a lot of potential to deal with the possible problems here from Mob Mentality. It really depends on how Double Cap are coordinating their dives, right? You can't play this.
Oh, when I flopped in the back. All turning around, Mattson finds able to find the phone. Repeat. They executed him. My goodness.
Boy.
And Mattson finds yet another. Yeah, definitely lighting on fire here as the dive continues to push forward. The big picks in the earlier in the fight, Gwen is falling a little bit low, but is able to back out. The cart is still moving with Kenobi, the one on the cart.
Interestingly enough, here you have Matson kind of sticking on Kemi, and then Repeat of all people trying to pressure out Phone. And he's actually doing a decent job. He's getting in really up close and personal, where and Echo doesn't really want to be.
Repeat.
Oh, well.
The Meko is a little bit too strong, but Matson knocks it back with a pick on the Kemi. The res is going to come out though.
You can only res him so many times before he should probably swap off of a sniper, you know? Like, Matson's just one, like, what is it, 3 or 4 sniper bulls now? Going on 5. So, okay, he's getting a little bit dangerous. He already has sights. I mean, Phone already has dupe as well, so a little bit of a lopsided duel here in terms of the DPS, but Double Cap not really
Red Knight.
pushing the point, and that happens. Someone does have to get on point, though.
Yeah, Red Knight does get found out again, second time. The Nano going on, and the duplicate turning into Winston already to that primal raise is going to go on Kenobi. The sleep does miss. Grimace reses Matson back in the fight with Pete. Finds Kemi though, putting an advantage in Double Cap on this attack. But this fight, you're right, has to get moving. They're almost off the map, but the duplication does expire. Both supports kind of healing each other through this. But meanwhile, Double Cap, I mean, Mob Battalion were able to stabilize.
The reason they were able to stabilize is because Double Cap had absolutely zero pressure on the cart. They they can kill Mob Mentality as much as they want for the next 1 minute 50 seconds, but if they're not pushing the cart, it's literally 4-0, and the cart is moving backwards. That's how little they were pushing it. So if they're building up ultimates, that's fine and dandy, but they need to actually make points progress.
Yeah, the bomb goes in, doesn't find anything. Phone already back from getting picked off early, and now Phone back onto the Reaper actually. The trans is forced as Phone and Quirt find 2. The melee, Quirt finding 2 as well onto the Mercy. A Battle Mercy, if I do say so myself, making it 3. Put that in the highlight reel.
Second time.
Oh, they're gonna give it the Quirt. Give it the Quirt.
Quirt killed Matson. Matson gets rezzed. Quirt kills Matson again. So that's just a beautiful cycle of derp right there. And once again, because there was a complete lack of cart pressure, Mob Mentality had zero reason to rush into point. They could just regroup, allow, Double Cap to poke in a little bit extra damage, because it doesn't matter if they build up their ultimates if they're not going to push the cart.
The Nano Blade comes out, no trans to do it. They're going to try and flux it, but it's not going to get anything. It's Repeat already kills 2. Phone finds Kenobi in the back, but the advantage is still with Double Cap on this attack. Tyler kills Phone, Kemi kills themselves. Red Knight finding the kills, Kenobi is res, but it's not going to matter very much as Repeat kills Maverick, and this is going to continue of Double Cap pushing forward against Mob Mentality. A touch is not possible. Oh, possible by Phone.
Phone thinks otherwise.
The Phone thinks otherwise. It scored damage, which was too much for Tyler. Tyler does fall here in such a good position. Repeat finds Red Knight Phone, popping the death loss immediately, killing Repeat, killing Kenobi. They really turned that.
Dude, no.
Pulse Longer Stone, Quirt finds Grimace once again. Matson on True Dongo. This cart is going over to Mob Mentality's possession, where the Double Cap, and like it or not, this full hold is completely possible. Tyler, the last standing Bastion on point, but he's playing Wrecking Ball.
It's likely they can't touch. You hate to see it when they just don't cap points. The ideal scenario there would have been that the rest of the team pushes up, but normally you have the main support on cart because they can do the most from cart, whereas the flex support generally needs to be up. But because they had the Mercy, it's fine to have Grimace go up and push up with the rest of the team because he was doing a lot of work, pocketing Repeat and Tyler mostly. But then Kenobi needed to be on cart, and generally he wasn't because he was taking these really weird angles to not die, which is fine. Not dying is his job essentially. But then you have the rest of Double Cap who just weren't peeling for him, and that's on them. That's on the entire team. Maybe it's Kenobi that wasn't communicating it. Maybe the rest of the team just wasn't listening to the call to peel back. But regardless, you got to protect Tirana. You got to make sure that they can stay on cart because there was quite literally zero reason for Mob Mentality to feel pressure there right up until the very end when they had such a man advantage that it didn't matter that they were so close to capping first point because they had everything under control. That was I don't want to say a clinic by Mob Mentality because it wasn't so much their good play that was the defining factor of that round as much as DC just not pushing cart, then it's an objective-based game. You get all the kills you want, but this ain't team deathmatch, folks.
Yeah, a lot of mob mentality just get picked first a
Don't tell me
lot.
they're doing this. No, they're not. Okay.
Yes, Kevin was just trolling but running this brawl. I think the goal is just to play this close.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, they're doing it.
What? I
I've
didn't
only
know you
seen
could
it
do
before.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, what a play going over to this ball, now forcing it back already. The car is not moving though, that's a big
So
difference.
low.
Shudango backing up a phone is the one actually get antied and killed, and now Red Knight lacking his main support. As the car gets moving, it's gonna fall. Repeat with that focusing being so powerful. They're trying to use the wall immortality use, but not gonna go far enough. Quippy is anti and dies as well. What a good play, but not able to capitalize.
I like the idea. It's flashy. Thank you for doing it for the clip.
Yes.
But it also accomplished nothing. And yeah, because they didn't even push cart. Normally, you would have had Court stick on the cart after he escorted everyone across because you don't have healed everyone else. But they just kind of all went, so that just wasted a minute.
Yeah, Kemi using wall a little bit inefficiently, but almost close to that blizzard. And now the nano comes out onto the monkey, trying to push this. The primal is coming out, though not able to be exposed to Vivino.
Don't you dare C9.
Tyler fighting two with the nano primal is walled off. Chudango kills the Pete. This is still an even fight. Wes coming out, not able to get canceled to the Pete back in the fight. Phone and Kemi come building up to the ultimates. They could use them or they could save the next fight. Chudango pops the MK to make sure they're going for it. The Death Blossom is used, the Blizzard is used. Pete turns into a May, is not going to get frozen because of the cryo. But Pete finding two, it's just Navino and Pete, but Red Knight's coming back and Maverick finds Repeat. Repeat's duplicated Blizzard gets eaten by Maverick. The Stealth Destruct is out. The Beat is able to not give them the satisfaction of kills. Navino, all the players with double cap are back though. This is still a very winnable fight. Phone Kemi trying to pull off some heroics on the DPS. Master gets frozen. Was able to stay alive with Soldier 76.
no.
Maverick starts the bottom point, and it's a C9.
Yeah, I saw that coming. The second he just plopped the bomb down on point. Mob Mentality are 3 maps in and already on match points. This is oh. This could have been such a longer map.
It wouldn't have been a League 0 match without a C9.
Not the worst I've seen in the past couple weeks, even, but okay. But yeah, that was
Ooh, phone with the perfect 7,777.
Couldn't have done that if he tried. Regardless, this has been looking like a more and more of a role for Mob Mentality as we are going. Now, of course, the teams do have a 10-minute break if they so desire between or after maps 3 and 6. And I guess technically if it went that far, 9. They do have a 10-minute break. So, gives us a little bit of break if we want to stop talking for a little bit. Gives the teams a little bit of stretching room. They do choose Hanamura for the next map regardless.
I don't know. I think there isn't a 2 CP map that they can pick that will kind of shut down Mob Mentality in favor of them. It seems like Double Cap has played so many different compositions throughout, and so has Mob Mentality. But it's just no matter what they do, it seems Mob Mentality is the ones coming on top. We have Kilroy coming in for Maverick and Kemi and Kilroy's roles.
Okay, so Kemi's going back to off tank, and Kilroy's coming back on DPS. So
that tells me that they're looking to play a Samba comp. I mean, Kilroy definitely plays more than Samba, but it seems like Kilroy has become their Samba specialist.
Definitely, and he is one of the better Sambas in intermediate, being up there with like Drift in terms of getting value out of the pick.
Yeah, definitely a bit. The neutral game is on point, and that's what really separates a good Samba from an amazing Samba. Obviously, any Samba can hit Q in the middle of a team and hack 6 people, but if you're able to communicate with your team, get a nice manual hack, and find pick off of that, then you're a good player.
Yeah, and actually, what you said about Kilroy honestly rings true for the entirety of Mob Mentality, where their neutral game is so much better. I think that's a big reason as to why Double Cap haven't been able to crack the code, is because there's no code to crack. Mob Mentality are just playing better. They're more focused, they're more coordinated, and they're just playing their win conditions better, whereas Double Cap are playing scared at times. They're not pushing their advantages when they need to. They're not creating pressure like they need to in the case of Gibraltar, and it's showing. You know, Double Cap at times have looked really good, but right now, for the past 3 maps, they've been getting outclassed by just frankly a better team so far. You know, they can absolutely turn it around. It would be the match of the century if they reverse swept this, but it's looking more and more grim as it goes on.
Yeah, not to be biased at all, but I would love to see a reverse sweep, at least bring it to 3 versus 3, just because that is such a good storyline to create. It really comes down to how well can they adapt here.
Yeah, definitely. Not only how well can they adapt, but how well can they keep, or I guess gain their composure. I don't even want to say regain their composure because I don't know if they ever had it. So
Yeah,
they're going to need to do something.
It is daunting task. Mob mentality. A lot of people actually expected them to sweep the entire playoffs win. I mean, not losing an entire map. Obviously not true, as Guangzhou Gangsters were able to take one off them. But still, they've been showing a level of dominance recently that is very scary.
It is worth noting, fun little side note, that Maverick has a 100% win rate in Lake Zero as a player. Granted, he's only been in for 2 maps, but you can ignore that part and just
Hey,
100% win rate.
100% win rate, then Maverick gets it too.
Yep.
We do have 7 minutes left on the clock. If the teams are ready, we will go in early. But I think Double Cap is going to take all the time they can get to reset their mental.
And
I say that as Double Cap readies.
Yeah, so I think they're just they want to just go with it. You know, they want to continue on with the grind.
Yeah, Hanamura, possibly the last map in the series. This is where the pressure really is on for Double Cap. The last 3 maps, okay, you lose them, you can still win without them. But now, if Hanamura drops, you lose. That is it. You're second place.
Yep. This is a win or draw scenario for Double Cap. They cannot accept a loss on Hanamura, or really ever again in this season.
Yeah.
They need to win everything for the remainder of the season, which, you know, could be anywhere from the next 20 to 30 minutes to the next hour and a half. I don't know, however long 4 maps takes.
We could just draw Hanamura, win someone. Double Cap wins control, draw hybrid. Someone Double Cap wins escort, draw 2 CP. Let's go to 10 maps.
I'm sure Rightcoast would have a heart attack. I'm sure he's watching the stream right now going, yes, it's only going to be 4 maps.
We will see.
Yeah. Well, Mob Mentality seem to be just taking their time. I don't think there's very much pressure on them at this point. They've proven to be the better team up until now. They're looking to continue that. Okay, Double Cap have unreadied themselves. So yeah, we'll probably take a short break as we have 5 minutes remaining in the break for the teams, and we can take a break from talking.
Welcome back from the break, and now we have it ready from both teams. Mob Mentality double cap 3-0. Mob Mentality leading on match point, bringing it to Hanamura for possibly the final map.
Yeah, the stakes are about as high as they're going to get for double cap. Not quite the highest stakes yet for Mob Mentality, as they've just been rolling through the last 3 maps. Gibraltar in particular was just embarrassingly easy for them, if I have to say it. You know, they didn't even cap first point, double cap that is. Mob Mentality just kind of rolled on through, did their own thing, moseyed on in, collects that free map win.
Yeah, it is easy to say that map was definitely the easiest for them in this series so far. We have Double Shield coming out for Mob Mentality on their defense.
I know you can't see match chat in the stream, but apparently Grimace is still on his anime spree, and Vino is now molding.
We're in Japan. If anywhere it's gonna work, it's gonna work here.
That is true. Soon enough, we will have a live map. Sure. Okay. Well, now Grimace is actually speaking in, I'd have to assume, Japanese in chat itself. I'm not familiar Japanese language, but I'm just assuming it's Asian characters for sure. Anyways, the defense, double shield, pretty standard.
Ooh, Mason TP.
Mason, interesting.
Yeah, they are. If this does get scouted, and they're on the Junkat phone is.
They're expecting it. The Brig is camping the point where they want a TP.
I think they're gonna wall and TP. Yeah, they wall and TP up, but the phone was ready for it. Chudong already finding Kenobi. Phone hitting a huge mine, a single mine, getting him 40%. Now up to 70. A little bit isolated, but is able to get out.
Oh my lord! This man is gonna have Riptire before the next fight starts.
Okay,
they need to either push in or they just need to jump off.
Jump off. Yeah, it seems they all jump off, and my Apple Watch thought has been talking to it this whole time. Great.
Like I said, Phone is going to have that Riptire probably before the next fight breaks out in earnest, which is just disgusting. I mean, come on, no one's even close. The next closest is Kilroy, and he's only halfway there. Okay, we have wholesale swaps.
That Kenobi, the only player staying on.
And he didn't have enough ult charge to really make it matter, so he's effectively just swapped to BAP as well.
They're going in just pick fight already starting. Now with the double shield they can get it easier, but that Junkrat's providing so much pressure to pull together. He's able to get them. Phone has that Riptire and drops it. Now it's gonna be how many kills it's gonna get. Chudong finds Kenobi once again. Tyler finds the Vino, and now this is fully Tyler uses Fortify, but it's not going to save their life. Sticky bombs, not gonna matter.
It's always a little bit funny to me when the Riptire just singles out a singular person. I don't know why. It's a special kind of spike kill, if you ask me. Which, I guess knowing Phone and the Vino's relationship, it's a little bit extra funny.
Oh no!
Jesus, that was
What a
belt if I ever saw him.
That was such a long-ranged hit.
Double Cap can't even poke their heads in without just getting obliterated. You know, even if they don't die, they're just feeding ult charge non-stop, especially to Kilroy, who's built up his high noon ridiculously fast. You can guarantee that's going to be one of the next ultimates we see on board.
Yeah, I mean, these two shields aren't going to do much against High Nooning McCree. The Amplification Matrix, Kemi finds 2 with a single burst of the...
Oh, what?
What are the Sigma Primate Bio called? Because I know what I call them, but I can't say that on cast.
Gravity spheres, something like that.
Oh, gravity spheres. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Something along those lines. Anyways, Phone is now camping the choke points and has another tire.
Don't, please.
Phone is in your house and has a Riptire, and you can do nothing about it. There is no way they're going to be expecting this.
Oh no! Oh no! Phone, the Flux does get cancelled, but it doesn't matter. All of Double Cap is dead.
A little bit of an overinvestment there from Kilroy. He really didn't need the. You don't need the High Noon when you've already killed 2 people. But I mean, at the same time, they have.
Hands.
Yeah.
It's this
I'm
one.
I'm expecting the Bongo to come out next from Red Knight early on, like once they push through the choke point. McCree duplicate, interesting. Yeah,
Duplicate to the McCree and ties before they even hit the ground. Not much that they can really do in that situation. The Invocation Matrix not able to find anything actually, despite his good positioning. Navino making over the point, someone has to be able to touch. Now is going to be them. Matson does fall though. That's that Magon. Implication Matrix coming up from the other side. The Flux though is finds 3 into the back. They're slamming back down. Red Knight finds Tyler. This is still in Mob Mentality's advantage despite everything that Hampton and Kemi finds Kenobi. Tyler's res, but it doesn't really matter. The picks are still coming out from Mob Mentality.
Phone has another rip tire. What is this?
Phone, the junk rat.
He's not even gonna get to use it.
He's not gonna get to use it, and that's a full hold from Mob Mentality. This map can either draw or the series is over.
There's always one of those finals that just feels like a complete and utter stomp, and I really fear that this is the case. Now, Double Cap can absolutely come out and have the defense of their life, but they're gonna need to not bow out in second place, you know.
The thing is, they can hold for 3 minutes and 59 seconds and then just lose because of ultimate advantage. And it seems like consistently, Mob Mentality have had the better ultimate economy throughout this series, so this is not looking good.
It's not even that. Like, yes, they've had the better ult economy, but even so, like, Mob Mentality have just been more clutch. They've had the better play in the neutral game as well. You know, they don't need the ult economy. It's just another nail in the coffin against Double Cap in this case, where, you know, once ultimates became a thing, Will Phone had a tire literally every single fight, and they just could rotate whatever they wanted because Phone was going to kill 2 anyways. So this is certainly looking grim for Double Cap. I suppose ironic that they have a player on their team called Grim. Maybe they can utilize some of that power to cause a draw here, which, I mean, that's the best they can do.
I mean, yeah, if they draw, they still have to win 4 maps for this series.
It would almost be poetic if Mob Mentality end out their season the same way they started it with the Shadow Dive, but that remains to be seen, as there's still 3 minutes and some odd seconds on the clock for them to decide their fate.
Phone just leading the charge, this full rotate up top, and now this is almost all the pressure from Double Cap immediately gone. Now this Pharah is putting out a lot of the barrage of rockets, I should say, but already 35% actually. Chudango gets hit with a direct, was able to get out quick, P falling low, but they're able to sustain up here.
It seems like Mob Mentality want to play this slow game, especially with Phone taking a lot of poke damage here. They want to wait for the right opportunity to strike.
Oh, the dive comes in. Phone, everyone's so low on Mob Mentality, but they're able to keep healing with the Shadow Dive comp. Chudango almost with the Coalescence and 2 picks coming out already. Repeat has to clutch this. Repeat is clutching.
Repeat?
Repeat, Navino finding 2, the res comes out onto Matson, and it's an even fight. The Repeat pops the barrage on the side. Killboy finds Repeat not resable in the position. It is just Kemi on point, but the attackers have the faster respawner. This is not over yet.
Yeah, this is not over, and it's looking really dicey. Mob Mentality have just under 3 minutes, and they have such a disgusting spawn advantage, even with Kemi gone. They're just gonna come in and be like, hey, we can do this without him, it's fine.
Yeah, starting this fight. Comes out to Navino. Matson using the info type, but it doesn't matter. All the enemies right in front of them. Chudango pops the Coalescence going in the shadow. Not able to find very much. Repeat phone. Navino falls. It's an even fight so far. But the attackers are favored in this. Tyler swinging the hammer, trying to clutch. Navino getting res, able to come back up. Corpi trading for the Kenobi. This is such an even fight, but still favoring the attackers. Matson up top, finding Chudango. No support online for Mob Mentality. The bomb comes out from Kemi. They have to keep going. They have to keep pushing. Repeat almost to another barrage. Phone kills Tyler. Killboy with the Repeat. This is Tony and Mob Mentality's advantage. Kemi jumping off the map, but I don't think it matters. Phone is clutching this in his own 2 hands. The EMP Blossom is online. Here to go. They whip. He dies. Whip. He uses whip. They use it, but it doesn't really matter. They're still on point. There's no one to touch. And Mob Mentality will be you League Zero Season 3 Intermediate Champions.
That was a speed run. I'm gonna be honest. That was just transcendental of Mob Mentality's dominance throughout the entire season, and only dropping a singular sitting still. it almost felt
What
like
a
they
play.
only lost to Capitalism in the regular season. If I recall correctly, dropped barely any maps and rolled their way through the playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah, dropping 6 maps and 3 of them to Capitalism. Honestly, it seems a little bit ironic that Mob Mentality is, from what I've seen between the divisions, is probably one of the most dominant teams in their division, and still want the team to go lossless this season.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Avino unfortunately did not claim the champion role, but technically, the team from Marsupial Gaming, Avino's organization, did pull out the win. So Marsupial Gaming now has one championship under their belt, potentially another one if Wisdom take their finals tomorrow. But first, an interview, and generally, what I like to do is allow for more people than just one to interview for the finals because they just won the whole season. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, going in here, which election of people we want? I know Phone has been an interview target very much, but I think after 4-0ing, he kind of deserves to be in that.
Okay, they want the whole team, and I have
The whole team in here.
I have done that in the past, so
All right, we have to control this though.
let's see.
Do we?
How to best do this? Do we just move down there?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we just move down to them instead of us moving to?
Probably.
Well, then other people might join that chat.
Oh yeah.
The chat is currently full, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So just drag them up one by one. While we wait for that, what a match between Mob Mentality Double Cap. I mean, this very consistent, I will say. Mob Mentality winning over Double Cap in the regular season without a loss and winning in the playoffs as well. Double Cap, I think, putting on the best fight that they could on maps more than others. But Mob Mentality, just the teamwork and individual player skill of that organization and team just seems unreal for at least this division. They deserve this. I think the play that they've shown throughout this season, there's no other team I would want to be crowned champion.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. So they said give it to Red Knight. I don't know if they want anyone else.
Can we get Red Phone and Killway? So I'm gonna ask them. I do want a collection of people because I think my mentality's strength throughout the season have been their team coordination, and obviously team coordination doesn't come from a single person. So these bonds between these players and the trust they have in their teammates is something I want to dive into.
All right.
We do have an agree.
So
Red Knight, Phone, and Kilroy will be our interviewees for the finals.
That should be Kilroy. Where's Red Knight? There's Red Knight. And where's Phone?
Oh.
There's Phone. Some of them might be server muted. One sec. Yep.
So.
Okay, they're good.
First of all, congratulations.
Hell yeah.
After a very dominant season, only dropping one match to Capitalism, you secure your place in history and won a 4-0 finals. How do you feel?
I'm gonna let somebody go first because I'm gonna say thing because I can be long-winded. Somebody before me.
Red Knight's about to rant. I feel like feels good, baby. Feels fucking insane, dude. After what happened last season when I was into with Bot Burgers and that just that team and not performing well, it's going to this team and being able to pop off and just kind of get this kind of have a very good team around me and be able to pop off and just succeed and have success means a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Last season, I kind of had an up and down year internally with Wisdom Academy. So coming back, having some familiar faces, I know for a fact that Phone and True are pretty, hesitant to pick me up in the draft. As it turned out, they got overruled, and It was a very different situation because I had to help coach and do a lot of stuff, and I absolutely adore all the people on this team. We grinded our ass off. I grinded my butt off in and out of scrims, looking at other people's footage, finding out what contenders are playing, how to play the comps. Yeah, so it feels good for me, especially that way.
Yeah, nothing I love more than a redemption arc of a player.
Can I say
Also, we have
something? Can I
added
say something?
Chudonga. Yeah, I'll give it to you. Just want to say we have added Chudonga to the interview as well. Go ahead. Cowboy.
Poggers.
As a lot of people know, this is my first season with League Zero, and it's probably been the best experience I've ever had in like any league I've been in. I've been playing competitive Overwatch for like 2 years, and this has been the best environment like I've ever been in. Like with the team, with the way the league's structured, it's nuts.
Man, it's impressive he's saying that because me and him yell at each other daily.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Chudonga, do you have anything to say about what this win meant to you?
Yeah, it meant a lot. We've had Mav as a manager, but honestly, like me, Red, mostly Red and Phone, like they did so much work behind the scenes. Legit, like the team would not be anywhere near its like our status if it weren't for those two. Like they really carried. Like Phone did a lot of the scheduling and finding a lot of last minute shit and just like making sure our, like motivation was there. And Red did a lot of the coaching and like a lot of the macro stuff. But yeah, this is a huge one for all of us. I know everyone's super excited, super happy since a lot of us, this is like our first time playing in like a big tournament.
Yeah,
100%.
it was definitely a statement victory as well with a 4-0. It seemed almost poetic in that final map for you to play that Shadow Dive, that composition that you played to such exemplary status throughout the entire season that is what you finish it on.
Absolutely. I also gotta say this, Nevin, I love you. My brother. It felt really sweet getting the dub against him, not gonna lie. Especially all of us. We all love Nev because we're all with the Marsupial people when the League Zero season's not going on. So, like, for us, it was really cool getting to play against Riot last round and then Nev this round. So, shout out to them. They played well.
Actually, speaking of relationships within the league, Red Knight, what's it like for you to go from last season where you lost in the grand finals to Silent Sword on main tank, and then he comes in and plays with you for a map in this grand finals?
Dude, that's like the best part. Like, actually, low key, like the biggest thing I'm taking away from this season of League Zero is the friendship I've developed with Silent Sword. Like, he's my homeboy now. Like, me and him, like, we've been grinding comp non-stop together, me and off tank, him on main tank, and so getting to play with him on KR against Navino, I was really hoping it would be a Zarya battle, but we all kind of switched around and played a bunch of different stuff. But yeah, like that was, oh man, it felt great. Like Silent Sword's a fantastic human, hasn't complained once about not being the starter, even with people in the league being, shall we say, skeptical of our starting lineup at main tank. So huge shout out to him for his humility, his friendship, and his leadership on the team, frankly, and stepping up in big moments when we need him. Like today, like the 2 matches I couldn't make it to, like that man has been everything we want and more from a backup main tank, and he deserves a ton of credit for this dub. Well-earned championship role, was not carried to it at all.
Yeah, I'll have to dole that out to all you guys after
yeah.
stream ends. But I think that's all the questions I have. Unless you have any more, Mob.
Not really. I just wanted to thank you for the performance. Thank you for the interview, all of you, and finally, congratulations.
Yeah. So if any of you 4 have any closing statements you want to say, close out your season.
Yo, man. I think a lot of people, when they look at lower tier Overwatch, they think that individual pop-offs, all that matters, but I'm just going to be 100% honest. For all the crap that we got for being the phone show, like the individual macro and micro that these boys have each individually worked on to like understand the game better, absolutely is why we look dominant against equally skilled teams mechanically. And I would say some of the people who we played against today are at least more mechanically skilled than I am. So that's all I gotta say. Like, GG's to DC, and thanks to my team for putting in the work and trusting me.
I would like to say thank you to everyone that just participates in League Zero, whether you're a caster, staff member, player, or just a viewer just trying to look for some fun matches of competitive Overwatch. thank you all for just being here and being part of this community. It means a lot to a lot of people in this community that you're here. Every single one of you like just helps build this, and we wouldn't be here without especially the staff that just grind and just do all they can to make this. They do it for free and just do it day in and day out and just make a competitive environment for all of us. So I'm truly grateful for the staff, and thank you all for a great season.
Yeah.
I could not have said it better myself. Thank you, Mob Mentality, for the interview. Thank you, production, for helping and actually streaming this to everyone at home. It's been such an amazing season. For me, this is also my first season as a caster, and I'm so excited to see you all next time. This has been Acme and Mob on the cast, and we'll see you all next time.
Last pick of the 9th round, by the way.
Good chance at it.